It's Friday again. It's around noontime on May 9th, 2025. Did the same process again this morning. I picked this song from my Firewalls album. It's called Firewalls. This is an album from probably 2020, 2021. It's kind of exploring like digital stuff, digital age, computer age, people who aren't very honest on the internet, which is a lot of people. And yeah, I'm not going to get all high and mighty about internet stuff because I've done plenty of weird fucking stuff online too, but I've never actually tried to impersonate someone besides one time when I was very juvenile, like 18 or 19, and I made a stupid fake MySpace page, which I wrote about it in my book. It was kind of a shameful moment for me. I picked this song today. I wasn't going to do this song, but then I was like, this week I've been trying to do social media stuff. I won't talk about this long because this video is about the music, not about this shit, but this song is about this. It's called Firewalls. It's kind of about the digital age and the good and the bad, the bullshit that you have to put up with if you're going to put yourself out there on the digital realm. I hate social media as I'm making this video to put on YouTube and to put on Substack, to put on Medium. I know it's hypocritical, contradictory. I know this. It's also because this week my book is done. I've basically just been doing some cleanup stuff and trying to market it online. I have more videos about this that I might make a series on later, like a podcast series. My experiences with social media in general. I opened a Twitter, X, I opened a TikTok, then I deleted it because it wasn't really helpful for me. I opened Facebook. Eventually it worked after Facebook kept blocking me for no reason. I haven't been on Facebook in over a decade, but somehow it was blocking me and saying I was going against their guidelines or some bullshit like that. And Instagram kept banning me for the last 4 nights, and now I'm supposedly permanently banned. I can't even find out why they banned me. It's the most messed up ones are Facebook and Instagram. In my experience, those meta companies they have no customer service and they just ban people at random for no reason at all. They say you went against our guidelines, but they don't tell you how, and they don't tell you which post went against your guidelines. They just kick people off for no reason. So it is a form of discrimination. I get it. Discrimination, people think of racial stuff, people think of sexual stuff, people think of stuff like that, but if I'm being restricted from putting my art out there into the world because of no reason given to me and I can't even talk to someone to find out what I did wrong, it's discrimination. Why am I being singled out? Every night I got kicked off of Instagram 4 nights in a row. All I've posted are my album covers, which are in my book, and some other artwork that I've done over the last, few years. And I just kept getting kicked off every night. And then they let me back on because I didn't do anything wrong. And then last night they just decided to kick me off for good for some reason. There's no customer service. There's no way I could find out what I did wrong. It's a miserable company, man. So I was inspired to do this song because of that story, really. And my experiences with social media are very I call it a social cancer because it makes people very stupid in the long run. The fact that this is even in my headspace, I have to think about Instagram. It's just a waste of time. But those are tools that are good for me as an artist, as a visual artist, because I can showcase my art in a very... I used Instagram like it was an art project of itself. I could set it up like an art project, and it looked pretty cool. Like, it is a good service, but it's creepy as fuck, and it's just shady, man. Like, what kind of company just kicks people off their site for no reason? They want people on their site for whatever reason to get their data and stuff like that. It's just, I don't care about that stuff. Like, I do kind of care about it. Like, I wrote about that in my book as well. Like, that a lot of people use that tired excuse, like, well, I got nothing to hide. I don't care if my job spies on me or my company, my family, my friends, my girlfriend, whatever, my spouse spies on me. I don't care if the government can use technology to spy on people. A lot of people say that, like, I got nothing to hide. What do I care? And I can get that rationale, but there's a line somewhere where it just becomes creepy as fuck, man. And yeah, my experiences with Instagram and Facebook, especially those two, are just creepy. And I don't like, the reason I quit TikTok is because it's only short videos, and that's not going to help me. And Facebook isn't going to help me. Probably not, but I still wanted to have a presence on Facebook as a DIY person at the moment. I need to at least try to utilize these tools to help myself. But that's it. I could talk about this for another hour, but this video is about the song. Like I do every Friday, I picked up my guitar like 15 minutes ago, messed around with the capo. This time I put it on capo 5. I was just listening to this cool podcast this morning about Connor Oberst and his album. It's I'm Wide Awake, It's Morning. It was kind of leading me to think about songwriting, some of the things he was talking about, because that's kind of like his minimal album, I guess. And it was pretty interesting to hear how he spoke about some of the songs he wrote. So, yeah, I'll move on to the song now. I don't want to talk about the politics of digital technology or the politics of information technology, because these are useful things. I took a class in college where my whole project was how to utilize information technology to help developing societies and stuff. And I do still believe that. I don't think the internet is like the Antichrist. There is valuable stuff, more than the bullshit. Like, because I live such an introverted life right now, it becomes all about myself and my experiences with Facebook and Twitter and all this shit in the past and right now what I'm dealing with. And yeah, it's more frustrating because these companies are like trolling people. Instagram's $1 billion company, and they're set up like a troll. Like, they troll people. We ban you. We don't have to tell you why, but we're gonna fuck with you anyway. And it brought back memories of 2021 when my company wrongfully terminated me, because they use that same methodology like that. Like, oh, we don't have to give you a reason. We'll just make some shit up and try to get you to sign a piece of paper. And we'll give you $20,000 if you sign this paper, but you only have a week to do it. You better get on that. That's basically how it went down when I got wrongfully terminated about 4 years ago. I've been through all this stuff before. Like, it's really annoying when people can't look you in the eye and tell you what the deal is. They have to go through all these manipulative channels. So a lot of the lyrics in this song are about that. There's a repetitive phrase. Then the war came. With every verse, and I think there's 6 verses in this. It's kind of a long song. There's 6 verses, and every verse ends with that, like, back when the war came. It's a very bluesy song too. 2 chords again. I guess a lot of my songs are just simple 2 chord songs, man. I like the feel of this song. I think it's the best one on this album, called Firewalls. The reason I kept saying when the war came down, because I think that's the cause of most injustice and all types of bullshit in the world. It's the bullshit. People aren't transparent with each other. People hide the truth, or if they mess up, they try to victimize the victim. They try to do all these things to take liability away from them. It's that corporate mentality that you don't teach your children to act like that. When your 6-year-old kid does something wrong against another kid, you don't tell that kid, like, well, deny everything, son. Are you a parent that teaches your children that? If they do something wrong to another kid in kindergarten, deny everything, son. Do not make any liability on yourself. Deniability, or what's the word that corporate culture always uses? Culpable deniability or some shit. I don't remember. I'm not a corporate person. But is that what people teach their children? Like, deny everything, never apologize. Because that's what I feel like corporate culture is. Like, it's a ridiculous mentality to behave like that. I think that's the cause of most war and most bullshit. Even civil wars and like religious wars, it's between like the same religion. It's because people have a failure of communication, which is usually just a cover because they want to take each other's shit. So they just make stuff up to justify it. But whatever, I'm talking way too much about random shit, but that's the point of this song, the lyrics in this song, really. Back when the war came down. There's a Decemberist song that's kind of similar to this. I forget how it goes now, but maybe I was kind of thinking of that song. There's kind of a heavy, proggy Decemberist song. I'll remember it and I'll put it in the description later. I can't remember it right now. But that's the repeating phrase throughout this entire song, because that's kind of my general philosophy on inner conflicts with ourselves or with our neighbors. Any kind of conflict is because it's a lack of transparency. That's when people can't deal with it, because you don't know what you're dealing with. You don't know who you're dealing with. You don't know what you're dealing with, because people can't be straight with each other. And it's just a miserable situation. It becomes a kindergarten type of thing of dimension like that, like you're back in kindergarten. So it's kind of based on that. Whether this occurs in the physical realm, these conflicts of people trolling each other and being stupid like that, or if it's in the digital realm. I'm sure a lot of people experienced similar things with Instagram and Facebook, where you do feel discriminated against because you don't even have any opportunity to speak to someone to find out what you did wrong. And it's obviously they're just trolling people. And that's kind of sad for a huge company like Facebook or Instagram, Meta, whatever they are, to feel the need to do that. Like, it's very sad in my opinion. I'm not saying Facebook is all bad or Twitter is all bad, but when you have these methods of propaganda and manipulation and the power of suggestion, which I talked about before last week, I think, a lot of it it's a dangerous tool that you could really fuck up people's heads like that. Alright, I'll get to the song now after my little stupid rant, after my decaf coffee. My decaf coffee gets me fired up, man. Alright, so the verses are very simple. I use these chords all the time, but it's a blues song. Like, blues songs are usually close to this kind of progression, I guess. Capo's on the 5th fret. I think that's where my voice sounded the best. And it's just a simple something like that. I'm not sure with the riff in between, but I said before I'm not a lead guitarist, so I have trouble with riffs while I'm playing, but I'll try to keep it going like that. So it's just A minor and then an E minor. Improvise whatever you want to improvise there to make it a simple bluesy riff like that. Like, it's cool I like blues music. If I could only listen to blues or jazz, because I feel like I have that debate all the time. And I love jazz too, but I think I take blues because sometimes you're just in the mood for blues music. And even though blues music can sound all the same, each guitarist kind of has their own flavor, right? Like B.B. King or Buddy Guy, Muddy Waters. That you can kind of separate them a little bit. I don't know Stevie Ray Vaughan that much. And, well, I'm missing a bunch of other people, but sometimes even Eric Clapton, like, he's got a clearer maybe tone than other people. It's more clear to me. But the sloppiness kind of makes it too. Like, I like the sloppy, gritty, raw blues atmosphere. So I probably would pick blues over jazz. But let me get to the singing so this isn't like an hour-long video. Never known to prosper from the storm. Then the war came. Warrior turned limb to press the fast. Back when the war came down. I gotta start this off. I'm gonna start that over again. Never known to prosper from the storm. Then the war came. Warrior turned limb to press the fast. Back when the war came down. I'm not gonna play the riff every time. I just want to get the words out. Certain phrase might kill a man where he stands. Back when the war came. Media farm source to raise the dead. Back when the war came down. Never known the strong arm of the fallen. Then the war came. Never known to kick them when they're down. Then the war came. I'm kind of picturing a little mini solo there. Whatever. I didn't take the time to really get technical with this, but there's so many possibilities in a song like this to have just crazy guitar stuff. So there is a chorus to this. It's very short, and I actually forget how it goes because I just came up with the vocal melody for it. Alright, I have to remember how the vocals went. something like that. And all they ever saw, never what they're fighting for. All they ever saw. And it goes right back to the verse. You can make it more dramatic when you do that. I would say go right back into the verse though, because this song could be too long if you stretch it out too much. And I would want the ending to be like a long guitar solo jam, like I usually envision for my songs. So after that chord, well, maybe you should do modulation. That's kind of cool. You know, let's see if that works. Because before it was A minor to E minor. Never known. Dun, 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 dun. What if you change it up after that chord? You go to a D chord. It's 2, 3, 1 on the bottom. Never known to withdraw from the cure. Then the war came. White horses riding towards the hall. Back when the war came down. Criminals rejoice in measured calm. When the war came, cradle silence long enough to scar. Yeah, I'm feeling this one. Back when the wall came down. If I can do this with the dynamics of singing it higher, then that's how I would approach the last verse. Never known the strong arm of the fall. Then the war came. Never known you kick them when they're down. Then the war came down. That would be kind of cool to get all angsty at the end like that. Never known the strong arm of the phone. I have a tough time singing like that. And the war came down. Never known to keep them when they're down. Then the war came down. Yeah, you could have 2 guitars, 3 guitars, whatever you want to do. Do a Glenn Branca, get like 100 guitars on. I think that's kind of cool to switch the chord arrangement though. So instead of A, it goes to D. That's like a big modulation, right? Big key change. And it kind of fits, I think it kind of fits that transition thing. play it easier when I'm not trying to sing it. I don't have these lyrics memorized, so I'm reading it from my laptop, and I kind of get distracted with my fingers and trying to read the words. It's very important to memorize the lyrics so you could do it seamlessly almost and get more passionate about it. I already struggle with my vocals, but when you keep have to look and read the words while you're doing it, it's more of a unnatural process like that. So that's cool. I'm actually composing the song again while I'm making this video. So the first 3 verses are A minor and E minor. Then the chorus, and then it goes, the last 3 verses would be whatever this chord is called. Is it just D minor, I guess? Then the A minor. It's actually easier to play the riff thing on there. So that's pretty much the whole song, and because I made this video now, I've made kind of a cooler dynamic song, because at least even if it's only 2 chords, at least it changes it. In the second part of the song, it changes the key, which would make it a little bit more interesting for people. That's all I'm trying to do. I just want to make cool stuff, because you want to make this, any song I write, I want like real songwriters and musicians to appreciate it, and the normal person who doesn't know what the A minor chord is or E minor chord, like I was when I was like 14, 15 trying to learn that stuff. So they can appreciate it, and maybe they'll notice it too, even though they don't know what it's a key change. They'll notice something changed in the song. So those are cool things to look for when you listen to any music. So it's not just the same factory mold pop song that gets made every couple months over and over again. Yeah, I can't do much lead. But there's so much potential for cool guitar parts in this song, which is another reason I wanted to pick it. The primary reason I picked this song today was because of my experience with Instagram and Facebook and other social media stuff, and how creepy it is. I already wrote and made a video about how creepy social media can be, but it still continues, like up to last night when I got banned from Instagram. It's kind of funny because I wrote a screenplay called Garrity. I'll end with this because I'm at 30 minutes now. I wrote a screenplay in 2020, 2021 called Garrity, and it's about this older cable news host, like the movie Network with Howard Beale, and he's getting aged out. Everything's digital now, and he doesn't understand the appeal of social media as a mode of news and information like that. So he has a line in that, like, what do you want me to make, an Insta photo page? Because he's like mocking social media as such a stupid thing to do. And that's how I feel. Like, I'm not as old as that character. I'm in my 40s. In my screenplay, he's like in his 60s, like, where he's at that point where people get so cynical about everything. You don't want to learn new things. Like, I don't want to learn this Instagram shit. I'll just stick to my tabloid newspapers about aliens and three nipple people, reptile people and shit. That's where my brain feels most comfortable. Anyway, that's the song for today. I think it's kind of interesting to explore this song after everything I've been through this week with social media and the internal stuff, the external stuff, or you're just like, why am I even aggravating myself to do this in the first place? Why is this helping me? And it just becomes a miserable paradox, social media. Like, what's the point of doing this? But yeah, so the song's called Firewalls. It's from my album called Firewalls. All my albums you can read for free on Substack. All my lyrics, all my 400 plus songs are on Substack for free if you want to read them. And my book's on Amazon. My book, The Hypothetical Poet, My Life in Lyrics. It's on Amazon right now. And I think I made 8 cents so far, so it's going great. And yeah, go buy me a cup of coffee by purchasing my book. And it's got all my songs inside the book and one easy way to look at all my songs and lyrics. And it has 54 chapters where I discuss what my albums are about and stuff like that, my influences and everything like that. So it's kind of interesting. I don't think I discussed this song in too much detail in the book, but I speak a lot about social media and just my frustrations with that, being addicted to screens, which is where I am now. I was actually going to quit the internet completely after my book came out, but I figured I at least had to market a little bit of my experience, or I had to market my book, and talk about my experience with it. So I felt like I had to keep going with the internet. I had to make these videos I want to do these for all of my songs, so doing this once a week, it's going to take me a long time to do this. I have 400 plus songs to make videos like this about. This is only number 11, I think. But yeah, if you can play blues guitar, make something cooler. I always say it every week, like, I would go into a studio and be like, yeah, this is the song, guys, or ladies, or whatever else you are. And I'd be like, yeah, play some cool solos. And then the song would be done in like an hour. That's how music goes, right? Or you just get some artificial intelligence robots and be like, artificial intelligence robot, play a cool solo here. And the robot would be like, okay, I will make a cool solo. And you're done in like 5 minutes. It's like, oh brother, where art thou? But with robots, you go into some recording studio in the middle of nowhere and it's just a bunch of robots and they make a song with you. That's how I picture my life in the next 20 years. I'm just going to be making music with a bunch of robots. That's it. I got nothing else to ramble about.